I'm gonna chase it, and I'm gonna chase it. I know we can't ignore it, no matter how hard we try. And I'm gonna chase it, and I'm gonna chase it. I know we can't ignore it, no matter how hard we try. Fire in the veins, I fight to gain, breaking all the rules to keep me sane. Living the moment till I die. And I'm gonna chase it, and I'm gonna chase it. I know we can't ignore it, no matter how hard we try. And I'm gonna chase it, and I'm gonna chase it. I know we can't ignore it, no matter how hard we try. No matter how hard we try.
Hey guys, and welcome to the weekly live stream here again. Not in the Bluefield Sports gun room as usual. I'm actually in my home office, trying to isolate and stay at home as much as possible despite all of the ongoing needs and reasons for me to have to go in unwillingly. But yeah, I want to keep these live streams going. I am on home internet, which is not as good as the office internet, so if there are any jumps in quality, or if the stream goes down at all, I apologise in advance, but I will try and get things up as quickly as possible. But yeah, how are you guys all doing? Obviously things certainly in the UK, well, I don't think, apart from if you're in China or South Korea, things aren't really getting any better across the world at the moment. So you know, I've certainly been trying to make the best of a bad situation, trying to get out as much content as possible. I guess that's a good thing about being stuck indoors for so long, is that, well, I've still got the laptops, I can still edit. So I hope you're enjoying the content. The most recent video was, of course, the British shooting show. Better late than never. Obviously that was a few months ago now, and just with everything going on, it was only until now that I got the time to actually put that out. But it was a fantastic show. Don't know how many of you went there and what you thought about it. But watch the video. I sort of give a bit of a review of the show. I know it gets a lot of criticism over, you know, certainly after making the switch to the NEC from Stoneleigh, but I was really pleased with it, and we've got a lot to look forward to in the year to come, as well as shows, but I'll get onto that a little bit later. But yes, as always, please ask questions. I know a lot of people already have, so I will address those in a bit. I've also got a number of questions from people that messaged in throughout the week, so I will be addressing those as well. So anything you want to talk about, any topics or any questions you have, fire away, keep the conversation going, suggest topics and all that. And as always guys, please, there's a little thumbs up button just below the screen. If you're watching this, if you enjoy the channel, if you enjoy the streams, please hit the thumbs up button. Please share it as well. It's a lot easier to share on Facebook. Obviously that's sort of the default now. I'm at home, and with all of you knowing my situation, there's no guns at home, so I'm streaming on YouTube until we start in the gun room again. But please share it. If there's any friends that you think that would enjoy it, or have any friends that have any questions to ask that you think I might be able to answer, then, you know, share away, give the thumbs up. So yeah, I think it's about time I'll go through some of your questions now, but we've got lots to talk about. I'm going to try and avoid the elephant in the room, which of course is COVID-19, but I apologise, we're going to have to talk about it at some points during the live stream. Hi from Southport, hello from Portsmouth. So I'm based in the south, if you guys didn't know, based in a small town just outside Portsmouth. So brass bullets, 88. Did you get that from Iraq veteran 8888? I wonder. Hi Callum, hope you're okay. Yeah, I'm all good. No signs of illness. I know last week I was getting like a bit of a streaming nose by the end of the stream. Streaming nose by the end of the stream. Anyway, but no, I'm fine. No symptoms yet. I'm good and healthy. Hope the same for all of you as well. So I'm going to apply for an SGC when this crisis is over. What may be the reasons I get turned down, and what kind of questions do you get in the interview? Just like with everything with this, unfortunately, like the best answer is how long's a piece of string. It really does depend on not only your own circumstances, but also the police force that you're within. So it does vary between county to county. Unfortunately, it should be a process that's fairly consistent, but it does vary. The typical ones that they're going to talk about is about your accommodation. So that can be a can of worms depending if you're in shared accommodation, whether you're in a rented flat or if you have your own home. Now, just because you live with shared occupants, or you have a rented property, that's not going to be an issue, but they're certainly going to delve into detail. They're going to want to know who is potentially going to have access not to the guns but to the safe. And if there's going to be more people coming and going because it's shared accommodation, they're going to want to probably stipulate a few more safety or security measures in place. One of the first question I got asked for my SGC interview was whether I wanted a shotgun to shoot foxes in my garden. Now, we live in a fairly suburban area. We're surrounded by houses, so certainly wouldn't be appropriate using a shotgun in our garden. But we were keeping chickens at the time, and they were sort of roaming free, and that's instantly what the FEO clocked onto. And of course, no, I've never planned to and never have shot foxes with shotguns in my garden. They are annoying. They have got hold of chickens at some point, but it's not appropriate here. But they're going to talk about, obviously, accommodation, where you're set, anything that may trigger them in your property. You know, they're analysing everything inside. You know, your house, your home is a really big reflection of you. So if they see anything, you know, if you've got a swastika hung up on the wall, that's probably going to spark a load of questions. Obviously, you know, in jest and an extreme example there, but they're going to pay attention to your environment. They're going to ask you who you associate with. Obviously, you know, when I applied, living with my parents, so they were asking me about my parents. You know, what did they do as a job? Was there any known mental health issues? Things like that. And then it's going to be all about you. Once they've sort of nailed down your environment, they're going to ask about you. Why do you want a shotgun? Now, for a shotgun certificate, you don't need to supply a reason, technically. You just have to be a suitable person. But they will still ask you, what do you want it for? What do you plan on doing with it? And all those sorts of things. How many guns you want to buy? Again, with an SGC, it's not really an issue, because you can buy as many shotguns as you want under an SGC. But they just want to get a feel, and then they're going to talk about, you know, your life, you know, what you've been up to, where you work, what you do for other hobbies and things like that. So it's a real feeler exercise, and they can ask 1,000,001 different things, depending on what sort of sense they get from you and where they want to dig a little bit deeper. But don't be worried, like, they are technically there to try and catch you out, and, you know, some can go quite hard, but you're probably most likely a decent person. I'm sure you've got nothing to hide, so don't act like it. Don't be fearful, don't be worried, just answer the questions honestly. And, you know, at the end of the day, if you're suitable, you're suitable. If you say to the guy, yeah, I want to be shooting foxes in the back of my garden, then he's probably going to decide that your judgment isn't completely right there. So I hope that helps. But I will also be doing a series of going through all of this. because I will be applying for my SGC and FAC. Well, within a month now. The month countdown has begun, so I'll be covering all of this hopefully in a lot more detail in future videos. So make sure, of course, you're subscribed to the channel if you're interested in learning more in-depth information about getting your FAC and all that. So my mum's joined. Hi, mum. She's actually just below there, which is sort of a bit weird. But there, she not under the desk. Like I'm on the first story here. She's on the ground floor. The Nexus 100. Yes, that's definitely something we're going to be talking about tonight. Because I've actually got it with me. Connor's actually dropped it off today. So for those of you that don't know what this is, you're in for a bit of a treat. But yeah, we'll get on to that. I can see loads of questions coming in, so I'll try and get through those, and then we'll go on to the sexy stuff in a little bit later. A little bit of a tease for you. Carl Volts. We don't have 3-gun with multiple guns on one stage in Norway yet. Oh no, sorry, missed your first bit of that. A very general question: how is 3-gun organised in the UK? Which organisation does it? And how does your FEO/the Fuzz recognise that activity compared to an IPSC level 2 shotgun match? And then following on with, we don't have 3-gun with multiple guns on one stage in Norway yet. So really, the pioneers for me of live fire 3-gun in the UK was Kentucky Firearms Club. That is why I absolutely jumped over to them straight away, because the stuff they were doing, no one else was. And I say all the time, I am a bigger fan. I massively enjoy IPSC, but 3-gun suits my personality more, let's just say. And I absolutely love 3-gun, and sort of the stuff you got to do on a stage was absolutely bananas. Certainly just the novelty of switching guns in a stage was incredible. So there's no like national body for it within the UK. There was unfortunately a bit of a sort of a slagging match going on between certain organisations, companies, clubs. I won't get into it, but yeah, unfortunately, 3-gun UK, I think it will 3-gun Nation UK, the 3-gun body from KFC. It was KFC sorting it all out. Unfortunately, did get closed down, so there's no one like running proper 3-gun anymore, apart from KFC. They moved over to actually the UML. So they still do multi-gun matches, but they don't, unfortunately for legal reasons, they don't call it 3-gun anymore, which is a real shame. There was also 3-gun sort of action airsoft. That was proving to be very popular. Again, they got hit with all sorts of legal threats because of this one company. Again, that got shut down. It did get renamed to the Multi-Gun Syndicate, but it just it lost the momentum after having to change the name. So yeah, Kentucky Firearms Club does a lot of 3-gun. I believe they are still the only club doing 3-gun. So if you're interested, anyone, go and check out Kentucky Firearms Club. So I said here's someone not dead yet, so good. Yeah, I'm hanging in there. It's part of the reason I'm not going to the office, why I'm staying home so much, as I hope all of you guys are doing as much as possible as well. You know, there's one thing about not wanting to catch it, but obviously I don't want to be part of the problem as well. So the longer I stay at home, the safer I am, or maybe I just become housebound for the rest of my life. Who knows? Hey brother, what do you think on the possibility of having bow hunting in the UK? Again, I'm not going to profess to be any sort of hunting expert. There's far more knowledgeable people out there than I am on the subject, but I believe that hunting with a bow, we touched on it a couple of weeks ago, but I believe it is illegal in the UK. At the end of the day, again, some of you that have been around on the channel for a long time will know I'm not a natural hunter, I think is the best way to put it. Certainly killing for fun doesn't particularly sit right with me. That I can understand it, and I am a lot more comfortable with it when there's a purpose to it. And that's sort of a massively hypocritical, because in the last year or two I've been on a couple of game days, but then all of that is for the fun, for the enjoyment, for the day out. But the game days that I've been on, all of the food, all of the meat, all of the birds are put into the food chain. So, you know, I'm comfortable with that, but, you know, the whole trophy hunting thing doesn't necessarily sit right with me. But I think my overall ethos on hunting, as long as it's humane, as long as it's for a purpose, then I don't necessarily have any problem with it. So, you know, if people can be humane with bows, I know that's probably one of the biggest argument is sort of stopping power and accuracy and things like that. You know, if someone's proficient enough with a bow and that they can hit accurately enough as with a rifle, and it's going to be a clean kill, and that's not going to be affected because it's a bow versus a rifle, absolutely no problem with that at all. I know that's potentially a huge can of worms there for that question. We've got people from all over, Lincolnshire, Doncaster, lots of people from up north. Any southerners down here, or am I all alone? So let's just trying to catch up on all your questions, guys. Yeah, Fred Morrison, you're completely right. They, you know, for a shotgun, you know, basically as long as there isn't a reason they can say no. So if you don't say anything stupid, or, you know, you don't have a criminal record and stuff like that, they're pretty much obliged to give you an SGC. I mean, technically you could say to them, I just like guns, that's why I want it. Technically that wouldn't be reason for them to say no. I don't know how that would go down really, but if someone wants to try it and film it, I'll happily watch it. Did your parents have any comment when you wanted to become a gun owner? That's actually quite interesting, especially if mum's still watching. So my mum actually had, because, you know, living with them, their house, sort of have to abide by their rules, but my mum was absolutely dead against it. She was okay with me sort of going out and doing it, but when it sort of approached the conversation of me putting a safe in my room and you know, keeping guns in the house, she sort of spouted a lot of the same things that aunties do, and I think that was more in terms of a lack of understanding, or certainly maybe a lack of understanding of how things were today. You know, as again, I'm sure many of you know, the main reason that I'm into shooting is because of my granddad. She obviously grew up with my granddad, who was a keen shooter, so she was around air guns and shotguns, but it was, I would say, around a time where, well, certainly when there weren't licenses for shotguns, so things were very, very different. And I think once I explained, like, and it's like a lot of people that are initially against guns, if you sit down and you explain the way it is in the UK with the vetting with the police and the safe storage, and also having to join a club and go through this probational period, so that, you know, by the time you get your FAC or SGC, you're usually, you know, pretty proficient and pretty safe and know what you're doing. So once that was all explained, well, my mum was okay. My mum has subsequently been shooting a few times with me, and she quite enjoys it. My dad, there was no convincing required. He was part of the ATC for many years, shot for many years as well. So absolutely no hesitation from him to say yes. But yeah, it's, you know, you just got to be logical and level-headed. If you come up against, be that family members, friends, or just strangers, if you come up against someone that just doesn't understand or has this sort of instant negative perception, shouting and screaming isn't going to really achieve anything. So you just need to be level-headed about it, state all the facts, and be calm. And I think that's generally what tends to work the best. Let's carry on going through your questions. They're coming in thick and fast tonight, guys. I'm going to try and keep up with all of you. What do you want it for? Zombie apocalypse? Yeah, that is the sort of answer, Fred, that is going to definitely give you a no when it comes to getting your licenses. Like, I wouldn't, you know, we all know it's in jest. It's all well and good having you know, having a bit of a poke and a fun online, but you know, just pretend that the FEO has a complete. That might be it. I think we're back. Are we back? Let me know. Everything's. I knew I might have issues here. You're probably going to have a lot of time prior to this of me scratching my head trying to work it out. But I think that's good. That might happen again. but it was fairly smooth to get back up again. Sorry about that, guys. That's why I might have to risk it and go to the unit next week to do it, if it's going to drop out. And my chat box has seemed to have died on the main one. Come on. Oh, I hate YouTube sometimes. So I'm going to flick to my backup screen. Let's just do that quickly. Sorry, guys. It's always good when it's live, isn't it? Oh, that's gone. It's all going wrong now. There we go. Right, I've got it. I'm back, I think, just about. So there you go. You got a sneak peek of my my notes for tonight, my schedule. But yeah. Joking around with your FVO is never a good idea. Some of them might take it well. Some of them might get fairly upset, unfortunately. So you just got to be. Is it dropped out? No, am I back? Oh, it keeps freezing. I need to go and tell my mum and dad to stop using the internet. I saw Neil's about. Hi, Neil. I think my stream's going just about as well as yours last night. Well, certainly the start of it. Hopefully we don't get any other more dropouts. But thank you for staying with me, guys. If it does drop out, I will do my best to get it back up and running as soon as possible. So just hang in there. And again, apologies. It's not the same setup that I had at home. But keep your questions coming. I am trying to get through to all of them. Aaron and hey Callum, due to our current situation, I'm thinking about dusting off the air rifle to do some guarding plinking. Any plans for doing some air rifle videos? Absolutely. I have 2 videos planned out in the garden, which is going to be basically setting up your garden for airgun shooting, because there are a few things you're going to want to be mindful of, and some things that you're going to want to in terms of safety. And I'm going to hopefully cover all of that because I want to still get some trigger time in during all of this. So we'll see how that goes. Setting up a little home range out in the garden. So yeah, I will be making videos on those. Carl, also Callum, I'm the monopod guy. Yeah, no, I know exactly who you're talking about when you say that. We talked on Facebook about a thing. That was, I believe that was the action air guns. Carl, let me know if that was the action air guns, because I am ready for that. And if you're here and ready to sort of hear my input on it, then let me know. I do get confused because there's been a number of questions throughout the week. But yeah, thanks again, Neil, for joining us, if you're still there, and watching the dumpster fire of my stream. I really do need to upgrade my Wi-Fi. So, Lucius, if you have a conviction for common assault for over 11 years ago, will I be refused an FAC for air guns? Again, unfortunately, it's sort of a how long's a piece of string question. It does depend. Like, the time is a big aspect in it. 11 years is a long time. As long as there's no repeats of it, if it's a one-off, it depends on the circumstances. It really does depend on many different aspects to it. I would say 11 years ago, if as long as that 11 years you've been squeaky clean, you can probably demonstrate that that was a one-off over 11 years ago and that you don't pose any sort of risk again. But yes, assault charges are not looked on with any favour. Sometimes all you have to do is have an allegation made against you and things go south, and let's just leave it at that. So you're George, what's up? Even more, hi George. I think you were here last week, so thanks again for joining, and everyone that's joined us from last week and continues to join every single week despite the technical difficulties. Yeah, just trying to catch up, guys. You've been really busy putting in your conversation, your questions and topics. Yeah, there's certain minimum. So WEGAS, there is a 5-year after a conviction thing. Can't remember if it's section 21, so maybe check that. So it is 5 years. That's part of the reason that I'm having to wait so long for mine. Not that I have any criminal convictions. The only other things I've been charged with are speeding tickets, and only 2 in 10 years, which You know, I know a lot of FAC and SGC holders that get considerably more than that. So there is a thing about this 5 years, and this is why I've been told 4 years for mine, effectively, because they can't keep it away from me for longer than 5 years, because that's what it would be if I'd have served a prison sentence or if I'd been convicted of certain crimes. So they do it like 4 years, so it's obviously less than the 5, but they don't go over the 5. The best thing to do is to either speak to Basque or speak to I think it's Laura Salisbury. I always forget her name. She's the sort of in-house counsel for the CPSA. Very, very knowledgeable about the laws and all these sorts of things. If you are having a problem, you know, also talk to your FEO, because, you know, the more honest and the more open you are with an FEO, the better it's going to look for you. You know, and addressing something like that straight up is probably going to look very, very favourable. Again, just trying to, as I'm sure you can tell, I was looking down, but this live chat has disabled itself for some reason, which is frustrating. Sorry guys, just catching up. And I'm sure I'm going to have all of the comments of your stream went down. And yeah, excuse the noisy dogs. We have small yappy type dogs, unfortunately, who love going up and chasing things in the garden and will bark all the way up. So in a minute you can hear the door open and then dash across the deck and then up the garden. One bot, Xbox One Geeks. Hello all. I have a Chris Defiance DMK22C. I wanted to see if anyone knows if M-Lock Picatinny rail fits them. I believe they do. I believe the Chris Defiance is fairly mil-spec. I mean, if not completely mil-spec. Daniel Smerald, Mr. Crap Magnet himself, he's done loads of upgrades to his. I don't know if he put another. I think he did. I think he put a Galil. I think that's how you say it. Is it Galil? Oh, I always say it wrong. You know, the really like Gucci gear AR bits. Begins with a G. I think he put one of those handguards on there, so it's probably upgradable. I'm pretty sure it's upgradable. And if not, there's definitely going to be conversion kits. But I'm pretty sure it takes mil-spec forends, so or Picatinny rails. Oh, if M-Lock Picatinny rail fits them, so you're not necessarily talking about the forend. I mean, is it M-Lock? Well, worst case, if it doesn't, you can just buy a forend that does, I guess, if it is fully mil-spec. So Elysius, I didn't go to prison for my offence. I had a fine and some community service. I mean, that's gonna, you know, that obviously shows it's probably on the lesser end of the scale. Not there we go. There goes the dogs if you can hear them. Yeah, so that's definitely gonna look favourable, and it being 11 years ago, it also depends on the age at the time. So, you know, everyone has their formative years, and if it's during those formative years, they're probably going to say, well, look, he was younger, you know, he was a young lad, you know, it might not make it any more acceptable what happened if you were at fault. Obviously don't know the full story, but yeah, depending on your age at the time, like, I wouldn't worry hugely about it, but it is an issue that they're definitely going to want to bring up and discuss. So again, just be honest with it. And certainly if you've done anything to counter that, you know, if you've repented in any way apart from the fine and community service, then you know, talk about that definitely. And it definitely shows you know, it's about character building and the sort of person you are. And the dogs really need to be quiet. Don't get Yorkies. They're far too loud and bitey. Steve Langton, I just need to get a degree to put this lot together. Stay safe, peep. So Steve actually just bought a load of items from Magload to do some. Jesus Christ! Give me 2 seconds. Just going to shout at the dogs. There we go. That usually shuts them up. Yeah. So Steve bought a load of V loaders from Magload. I hope you don't mind me talking about this, Steve. Yeah. bought a load of V-loaders from Magload. Basically, you know, if you thought about getting into practical shooting and you want to try dual loading or quad loading, well, now sort of like the perfect time. You're stuck indoors. You can go and get some dummy cartridges from Magload and some caddies or V-loaders, well, V-loaders, caddies as well. But you can get anything you like, and then, you know, be practicing at home. Make the best of a bad situation. Right, Buzz is definitely not getting any treats tonight, that's for sure. So Mum's saying, open my eyes and I'm fine with it, but not hunting. That's a step too far, but loves practical. So yeah, again, you know, everyone likes to put a label over shooters, and this is what I used to get annoyed with, is people that you say that you shoot instantly think that you're a hunter and that you're bloodthirsty and that you like, you know, just going out and killing for the sake of it. And for many, many years, it was like, I haven't killed a single thing with a gun, you know, but you get that label. And I can completely understand, you know, coming from that sort of, you know, point of view, in terms of, you know, being a sport shooter, being passionate about shooting, but, you know, not feeling completely comfortable with hunting. And again, for me, that was mainly about misunderstanding it. Oh, that's the, I can hear clapping. So guys, if you're in the UK, it's 8 o'clock, so give the NHS a big clap. Go out to your windows, go out to your doors, take a 2-minute break to go and clap for the NHS. All of the servicemen, frontline people out there doing a fantastic job, not just in the UK, but across the world as well. It's probably why everyone's barking again. Really do need to set a reminder for that. But yeah, take a time to go and praise the NHS and all the work that they're doing. I've seen some fantastic sites across the country and across the world in appreciation. So go and do that. Go and pay your thanks. Yep, and I've hit all the live stream down things. This is not as easy as it looks, guys. And yes, Tom LOA, time to upgrade the broadband. I keep on telling my parents, keep on telling them, and they're like, I'll pay the bill. And I'm like, no. So, so yeah, hopefully, guys, we can sort something out, and, you know, do it back at the office for stronger Wi-Fi, certainly more reliable Wi-Fi, but I hope it stays up, just to get the stream done in Hull. But yeah, thanks for staying with me. So I did touch on it, so I'm going to pause on the questions for a little bit. If you do have anything, keep them coming through. And again, guys, if you're hanging about, I can see, you know, there's many of you, I think there's like 50 people at the moment, but only 15 likes. So if you're watching now, hit that thumbs up button. Helps the channel, helps us grow. And I just need to wet my lips for a second. So that's the good thing. All the local breweries are doing deliveries now, so, you know, at least there's beer. So, talking about Magload earlier, God, this thing is unwieldy, isn't it? So, if any of you guys don't know about Magload, we talk about it all the time on the stream, because the founder and owner, Connors, is usually joining me, usually my right-hand man on it. He makes caddies. Magload makes a range of practical shooting accessories and various gun upgrade bits. The one thing that they're known for is for the Magload Nexus. And we thought it would be a fantastic idea to do a bit of an April Fool's joke, which is making the largest quad loader in the world. So this will take 100 rounds of shotgun cartridges. Bearing in mind that the biggest one that is ordinarily sold is a 32 capacity, so 3 times the standard largest variant. But there was an April Fool's video that went out yesterday on Magload. Go and check it out, the Magload Facebook page or YouTube channel. Just type in Magload into Facebook or YouTube. And I keep on seeing, like, I've got this traffic light system and it keeps going red, and I'm like, no, it's lost it, but I'm just about holding on, I think. Let me know if not. Yeah, so go and check out the video. It's funny as hell how Connors managed to keep a straight face during the whole of that filming. I do not know. But yeah, that's it, up close and personal. If you want me to do like a proper English shooting video, on this, and I can show you the ins and outs of it. I will happily go and do it. We had an absolute awesome time filming the April Fool's video. It's sort of like an April Fool's because you can actually go and buy one of these if you really wanted to on maglo.co.uk. There's a lot of people that didn't get the joke. I just want to, we know how ridiculous this is. It was never intended to be like a serious product, but it was put up for sale just in case anyone was crazy enough to buy it. But yeah, in all seriousness, we never expected anyone to rock one of these at a competition. But yeah, there it is, the piece of shooting history, certainly internet shoot or online shooting history, the Maglode Nexus 100. And just as another tease, guys, if you are into your practical shooting and into your quad loaders, then you should definitely be keeping an eye out on Maglode tomorrow. Things are about to step up a notch, so just keep an eye on Maglode tomorrow. It'll be everything will be live from the morning, and that's all I'm gonna say on that. But I hope somehow that the stream is maintaining itself. I'm not dropping in and out too much. Let me know if it is still good. And again, hit the thumbs up button, much appreciated. Loads of I have two windows running this stream. So I have the window that all of you guys can see, just to check that everything's still going through on that side, and then I have the creator studio, and half of each is broken. Well, they're saying that I can actually refresh that one without losing too much, so I'll just do that quickly. But yeah, certain numbers are frozen, so yeah, a little bit frustrating, but I've got to make do. I'd rather do it with a little bit of interruption. I've seen a number of new likes. Thank you very much, guys. You aren't just ignoring me. But yeah, Coal Vault. I'm not gonna try and say it again, but the handguard you just said, that was the one. That's the correct spelling. How it's pronounced, I do not know. Yeah, I'm back onto your questions, guys. Yeah, I'm just sorry if it does keep dropping out. I can only make use of what I have here. I will try and beef it up. Obviously, I think this is going to be a long-term thing, so I'll try and find an arrangement so it's a little bit more stable for next time. But do really appreciate you guys hanging in there. I don't know how bad it is for you guys. I'm really sorry. Have ever thought of streaming on Twitch? They seem firearm friendly. Watch quite a lot of people at shooting ranges there too. I guess for me it's like a bit of a fear of the unknown. It's like we've just about got used to Facebook after YouTube brought in that ridiculous rule about handling guns. I've got I got this air gun out. It's my granddad's air gun. I've made a video on it in the past, but I got it out ready to sort of talk and show you guys, and then I remembered you can't handle guns on YouTube. And again, Carl, if it's the question that you were asking earlier in the week, I got the guns ready to sort of talk about and show. I just can't handle them, unfortunately, but I will get to your question if you're hanging in there waiting for it. But yeah, I've thought about Twitch. I do get a few people saying that I should do it. I don't know. I've always thought of EnglishShooting as a YouTube channel. I know that we made the jump for the live stream over to Facebook, but that was, I couldn't not be handling firearms for the stream. If you guys would prefer Twitch, I know a number of you guys don't have Facebook. If you are happy using Twitch and more of you would sort of be happy with Twitch over Facebook, let me know and we'll certainly look into it. I've also had a few suggestions about there's an application or a website called Zoom where you can sort of have, it's sort of like, I guess, like Skype even, and it allows for face-to-face hangouts and things like that. If during this period, again, depending on how long it goes on for, if you want to be having sort of more live interaction and more group chats, maybe we can go on one of these Zoom things. I need to go and do a bit more research on it, but we could quite happily, sit down and just have a good old jolly chinwag about guns. I would say in a more private scenario. I know a lot of people don't necessarily want to talk openly or have their faces streamed over the internet. So if that is something you'd be interested in, just let me know, and I'll sort of see the response to that. I'll probably look at that all of those comments, what you think after the stream, and get through some of the other questions. Art Fred Morrison, RE Zombie Apocalypse, special green cards with zombie. Yeah, there's a hell of a lot of zombie, a lot of zombie like paraphernalia. They use it in a lot of branding. I know that I think it was Hornaday released a whole load of ammunition that was zombie themed. Again, I really don't know how that would go down with an FEO. You can probably explain it's a bit of jest, it's a bit of fun, but really, there are only 3 reasons, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, for having a Section 1 or Section 2 gun. That is sport, hunting, or collection. And if they feel that, like, if there's any hint that you're going to be using it for anything else, that's always a big no-no. Oh, yes, Carl, I do remember. Thank you for reminding me. I do have a terrible memory. Let me do that now. So there we go. I've added you, Carl. So yeah, I do have a number of mods already. But yeah, unfortunately last week there were a few comments from well, let's say a few comments that were completely unacceptable. And sometimes first of all, there's a delay between what I'm saying and what comes out, and then obviously you're responding to it, and it's sort of a little bit delayed, and I don't see the thread for a little while because I'm trying to pay attention on answering a previous question. So it may take me a little while sometimes to sort of see some of the bad comments that come through. So Carl was saying, why don't I get some more moderators? And I took that as him nominating and volunteering for me, which I guess you're more than happy to do. So much appreciated. But the reason I was saying about Action Air, someone did ask, and again, I have my Action Air gun behind me. Unfortunately, because I'm on YouTube, I can't handle it live. But I have like the honeycomb Glock Action Air gun. So basically the question that somebody asked is, what would I recommend for a beginner Action Air pistol, or a pistol and like an airsoft BB gun to get into Action Air? Now, I'm a bit of a weirdo. I really like Glock, and I really get on with my Action Air Glock. I would definitely say go and try like a 1911 or 2011 and a Glock and see what you suit, because some people are weird like me and they just prefer and get on with the Glock. But hands down, despite not shooting one myself, the safest bet is to go with a high capper. And Connors has a split frame one. I can't remember. Let me just get the name. I should have had this written down. There's a particular name, Armourer Works. So Connors has the Armourer Works high capper split slide, and the reason they have the split slide is to reduce weight, so that obviously with the blowback action, it cycles a lot better, and it hasn't got all that weight to move, so it's quicker, faster, and more reliable. Connors absolutely loves his high capper. Have very, very little issues with it. A couple of repairs and a few upgrades. My Glock is a little bit more custom. It's not completely custom, but I can't find it on the internet, and I'm not gonna bore you trying to search for it. But if you go on to Amazon, both the slide and the frame was bought from Amazon. I did actually do a video. There's a Christmas video. The thumbnail is of the Glock airsoft gun. So if you're interested in learning exactly what setup or Glock I have for Action Air, go and check out that video, because I go through all of the different bits. But the slide is actually different to the frame. I think Alex bought me the slide and Connor's bought me the frame for Christmas, or it was the other way around. And there are a few upgrade bits as well. I can highly recommend going to Crawley Surplus. Very, very knowledgeable. They will help guide you on all of the upgrades, and they will even guide you on what sort of gun you should go and get. But if you're asking for who asked the Action Air pistol question, the safest option is go for the Armourer Works High Kappa. That's sort of, I think, the best scenario. They're not too expensive. I think Connor's paid like 150 quid. You can go fully custom. I know there's a couple of people, I know Tim Wyborn, seriously experienced Action Air shooter, makes custom guns, but they can run you 1,500, 2,000, 2,500. Or there's even Airsoft Surgeon, run by Clarence. He actually was responsible for the Airsoft Surgeon Championship you saw in the British Shooting Show video, if you've seen that. If not, go and check it out. He makes some stunning guns, but again, they usually start from about 1,500 or 2,000 pounds. So, you know, you're talking serious top end, and if you're looking at getting into it cheap, well, that's definitely not the best way, is it? Nick Bernard, can you quad load a standard M3K? Yes. I mean, there's definitely modifications required, but I started, once I'd lost my FAC and I moved on to Section 2 shooting again, I got, I started using the M3000, and I used that, apart from an enlarged safety and enlarged bolt, charging handle even, I used that with a standard port and a standard lifter for a number of years, and I could, well, of course I can't quad load it because it's a restricted gun, but I can dual load it absolutely no problem. If you can dual load it, you should still be able to quad load it. Obviously Connors has since modified the M3000 that I use, and it does make a huge difference getting it ported. The M3K is obviously Stoker's practical focus gun, so there is some material removed. I would say it's still not enough, just like the majority of manufacturers bringing out, practical guns that don't listen to practical shooters and still leave most of the receiver in there. But yeah, you can quad load with an M3K out of the box. It is very, very close to being competition ready, but I would still recommend going and getting a port job. If you are interested, get in contact with Bluefield Sports, and it's Connors that carries them out there. He did obviously the M3000 that I use, and that was, I think, his first non-supernova cut that he did, and that was great, and he's come on leaps and bounds since then. That was the first, I basically gave him, handed him over the gun and said to him, look, I don't care, I know that's the gun I use, but if you break it, it's a Stoker M3000. It's a few hundred quid. Get your teeth sunk into it. And he's done it feels like hundreds of guns now, and he's really perfected his port. So if you are interested, I can highly recommend Connors, obviously. There is actually going to be a quad loading video coming out as well any day after tomorrow, because the let's say some of the equipment that I'm using in the video hasn't yet been released. But again, moving on, Connors is going to kill me. He's going to phone me up in a minute and kill me. Or he's going to drive round and cough on me, one of the two. So Shane, I want to use a pump action for practical shooting. Oh God, you're going to set Bill off with that one. Should a supernova be the gun to look at getting? Yeah. I mean, I can recommend the 870. Magload has a sponsored shooter called Vitali. Vitali Pachenko, I think his last name is. I might have completely butchered that. Sorry, Vitali, if I have. He is like the 870 master, and he does really, really well on international competitions. That's why Magload sponsored him. So the 870 can be made into a really good practical gun, but of course Connors uses the Supernova, and that's the gun that he would recommend. He's been pumping a lot more than I have. Oh, I've got a message, that's probably Connors. No, there's someone else saying no biltong. Thanks, Paul. Yeah, big shout out quickly to Paul at the World Gun Owners Association. I know that you've been popping up. Please send me biltong, please. But yeah, Supernova. I'd definitely say the Supernova from just what I've seen, from what Connors would say. Connors has been pumping for a very long time. He he knows his stuff, and that's the gun that he would recommend. So that's the gun I have to recommend, really. Again, if you're interested in picking one up, get in contact with Blue Field Sports. They're a GMK Benelli dealer, and you can have Connors do any modifications you want to it. He knows that gun. Like I've seen him on a stage. Jesus, he's had a malfunction with it. Bearing in mind he bought his gun second hand, and he has put tens of thousands of rounds through it, if not hundreds of thousands of rounds through it. And I had to beg him to get a new one. He was like, "Oh no, I could just weld the bolt up a little bit more." He was having issues with it because it was just a knackered old gun. And I've seen him fully strip things down on the range during a competition. He just knows it like the back of his hand. Supernova. Hi Callum, hope you're well, mate. Thanks, same for you. I hope you guys are all trying to get through this. Again, if you want me to be doing more, most of the times in the evening I'm probably watching Netflix or editing videos. Maybe I should do a live video edit. That'd be pretty. That's definitely going to go really wrong. But if you want more live streams during this period, I'm more than happy to do them. So let me know. Anyone know if a Parker Hale bipod spigot fits on an Accuracy International stock? Sorry, Gaz. I would drop Accuracy International an email. Like, they might know, or even Parker Hale. But hopefully someone can answer that who actually knows what they're talking about. I feel like I'm massively behind because I'm now seeing all of the NHS claps, and that was like 20 minutes ago. So I'm sorry, guys. I am trying to get through it. You're all very talkative tonight. I guess it's being isolated in your house for prolonged periods of time. Is that the zombie apocalypse belt? I mean, yeah. If you're gonna use a quad loader for, you see how you have to handle this thing. It's so awkward. If you're gonna have a quad loader for zombie apocalypse, it's got to be the Nexus 100. That's for sure. I am gonna convince Connors to use that in a stage at some point during a competition, and it is happening, Connors. If you're seeing this, so live in 12 hours. Ah, okay. I know what you're talking about. Magload 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Be there or be square or miss out on the greatest product ever. That's enough. Nitsa, audio's fine, but the image keeps freezing. You need to get Virgin Media Fiber. We're wrong, Virgin. Like, it's Virgin broadband. Like, it is. It's just Wi-Fi. I keep saying the Wi-Fi's crap. It's fine. We will sort it out for next week. I promise. There's software that dual streams you across different platforms like Twitch and YouTube. That's interesting. That could be like the best of both worlds. Like, stream live to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch all at the same time. That would be pretty cool. Carl Volt, Zoom had a big security flaw revealed today. Check Linus Tech Tips. Oh, okay. I did see. Was it? Oh, it was one of these streaming software companies. But did you see the cabinet? Obviously, with Bojo being infected and not being able to see people face to face, the whole cabinet are doing their meetings via streaming, and they actually gave the ID code out, and people were like furiously trying to guess the password to join the cabinet meeting. That would have been absolutely hilarious. Yes, Mum, we know you get good speeds. That's all well and good for you. I probably would be better off tethering off my phone. But anyway, I hope that... how does he get to be a mod... Oh no, I've probably just done the worst thing in the world. I've made Connors a moderator. Let's see how this goes. But there you go, Grumpy. Xbox One Geeks. I have been following EnglishShooting for some time now, thank you. And I would like to let you know that I love all your videos, and it's great to see someone standing up for all their gun rights. Thank you very much. No, much appreciated. I mean, I don't get, let's just say, as heated leery, gobby as I maybe used to get. Maybe again that's because I was going through my formative years. But yeah, I mean, let's see how things progress. You never know. I do feel that sometimes I do absolutely everything I can to promote the sport and introduce new people to it. But one of the things that I used to be really passionate about was sort of progressing the law side of things and speaking out against certain things, and standing up for certain things. And I do feel that, obviously with everything that's gone on over the past few years, that I've shied away from those conversations. And I told you guys, like, 2 years ago, when I initially shut down the channel, when I was told incorrect information by the police. I'm just going to put that out there. That I was going to have to be selfish for the next 2 years, and probably a lot longer than that. Whether or not I agree with everything that goes on and what is expected, rightly or wrongly, from people, the rules are the rules, the expectations are the expectations. So, I know what it takes to be an FAC holder, an SGC holder, and I'm going to have to do everything I can to make sure that I can do that. So I said I was going to be selfish about it to ensure that I got my FAC and SGC back. I believe I've been on the right path. I certainly don't want to jeopardise that as soon as I get them back. But we'll see. Maybe I can open up a dialogue with my local police force and see what they would find more acceptable for me to sort of push forward on. But yeah, leaving that, moving on. Yeah, Magload, Umra Works do race guns. Yeah, any of their high cappers. Yeah, for once Connors agrees with me. Your Glock is an Armourer Works lower. Okay, with WE Tech, WE Tech upper and a maple leaf hook. There we go. Connors knows more about my gun than I do, but then he did sort of spec it and build it, so he would do. I've just bought Nitsa. So guys, Nitsa, thank you for joining me. Had an awesome time out there a few months ago. There's a video on the channel if you're wondering what this Nitsa place is. It's where the UK PSA goes over and does some handgun shooting, thanks to the Northern Ireland Practical Shooting Association. I think that's it. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, Nitsa is being out there with the UK PSA, and if you want to get into handgun shooting, I believe it's like one of the best routes to get into pistol shooting in the UK, certainly for international IPSC competitions. Just bought a Glock, but Nitsa's just bought a Glock Gen 5 FS MOS 9mm, just rubbing it in. I mean, I've got some 6mm behind me, but I haven't got that 9 love. But yeah, keep the questions and comments coming in. I know I'm a little bit behind. I'm just trying to, again, you guys are incredibly talkative tonight, which is great. So keep it coming in. Again, a quick beg. If you see that thumbs up button below, please hit it. It really helps with YouTube analytics. Let's see. Steve, time to say good night, guys. I'm sad to say I'm off to the crematorium. Oh no. No, sorry to hear that, Steve. But all the best for tomorrow. Keep strong. But good night as well. In the April Fool's video, Connor was working that pump gun really, really fast. Yeah, he knows how to pump. What can I say? He's a really good pumper. Yeah, he's quick. There's a video we should really release on Magload where he's doing a man v man. So you have the same number of plates in a symmetrical orientation, and I believe the guy's using a semi. He might be using a pump, but if you listen to the shots, it's like a semi-automatic. It's absolutely incredible. And he preloads it as well, so you sort of takes up the tension. And maybe we should do a video, Connors, of you shooting as quickly as possible. How fast can you shoot with a pump? Maybe we should have a race versus a semi-auto once I'm allowed to shoot section 1s, of course. Brass Bullets 8888. I live in Surrey. Do you know how long it takes down here, and also getting a series of getting ready place? Okay, yeah. Yeah, so doing a series for getting ready for clay shooting, what you need and what you need to buy. Yeah, let's make a note of that. Yeah, I mean, I haven't actually been clay shooting for a while, so obviously I might have to wait until after everything's finished with COVID-19. I'll put beginner's guide. So Surrey used to be incredibly good. There used to be like a few weeks for an initial application. They did sort of wean a little bit, and I think at one point Hampshire were better, and certainly were performing a lot better than Surrey. I did think it swung back again, but I don't know. Unfortunately, I don't know all of the sort of waiting times across the country, so I'll you can ask them, just drop them a phone call, or if you someone sent something. This is new. I have a little emoji and it's counting down. I'm really nervous to what happens when it counts down. I know that I've had people donate before, so if it's a donation, thank you very much. It looks like a little ghost. That's cool. If someone could tell me what that is, that would be incredible. I feel so old. But yeah, I don't know all of the different times across the country for it. But phone them, ask them, take it at face value. But Surrey has previously been a very good force, and I believe that the head of Surrey is actually quite an avid shooter himself. So that always helps. Unlike when I lost my licenses, and the head of Hampshire Firearms, Mark Ruthius, who now works for Nabis and headed up the 50 cal ban, that's a bit of a swing, isn't it? Don't give money to that. Oh, it is a tip. There we go. It's just come up, so it came across the thing. So Xbox One geeks, thank you very much. Muchly appreciated. Yes, you guys are all educating me. So it come like on my display. I don't know if it's the same for you, but I've got this little icon on the chat. But because I'm a little bit behind, I didn't see the main banner. But yeah, very much appreciated. Xbox One geeks. If you've got any more questions, happily answer questions if you're gonna throw tips to me. Guys, just again, I've touched this on the channel before. I actually spoke to Connors today, and he said that I should make a note of including it in the videos. But English Shooting does have a Patreon again, so there were a number of Patreons supporting the channel before I shut the channel. Obviously I stopped Patreon when I stopped the channel. It is now back up. I believe there is a link in the description below if you do want to support the channel. And it all goes towards the channel. I don't take a single penny for myself. I never have and never will. Well, unless it starts getting ridiculous and that becomes like my full-time job. But I make money through other means, not those means. So there's if you want to upgrade, if you want to see some really bonkers videos. Some of the epic content does take money to produce, and my ethos has always been every single penny that I make through ad revenue, which has gone up to about 100 quid a month now, which isn't too shabby, I put into new equipment. So when it first hit, I think it was like £40. I went to Jessop's, got an interest-free finance on a brand new DSLR, and basically the 40 quid a month I was making through YouTube was paying for that camera, which stepped up the video quality no end, because I was doing it all on my iPhone. And I do have my eye on a Sony A7 III, but they're like 1,800 quid. So if anyone wants to donate 1,800 quid to move over to 60 frames per second and 4K, then please feel free. But anything is appreciated. And again, as I said, I don't take a single penny for myself. It all goes back into the channel. So you are helping the channel, with anything that you want to donate. But always very much appreciated. Again, thank you very much, Xbox One geeks. There we go. So keep the questions coming. So Callum, are you talking about a shoot off? Yeah. So I guess it's just different terminology. Within IPSC, it would be a shoot off. In club level within the UK, we refer to them as man versus man. They don't happen too often. They're usually done at fun shoots, so like during Christmas time or things like that. But it's always good fun, and it's just an absolute raw test of skill, isn't it? But yeah, just different wording for it. Oh, so Dan's saying Surrey is now run jointly with Sussex. So I don't know necessarily if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because if they have the same, basically if they've gone like, right, one office is going to run both, and they're not going to, they're obviously going to be like the same resources for twice the county. So I don't know. Drop them a message, see what they're like at the moment. Can you explain Welsh general licenses, please, if you know anything? So I believe that's like the general licensing, like pest control, like pigeons, crows, and those sort of stuff. I'm not an expert on hunting. Certainly within the UK, far more knowledgeable people that I'm hopefully on the stream. But yeah, I don't know anything specific about the Welsh general licenses. I know with the UK ones that they were reapproved, and everything's sort of back to normal. So a few minor changes, but nothing that really stops things how they used to be before Chris Packham got involved. Nitsa, once the lockdown ends, do you think you'll be back over here? Absolutely. I was actually booked on to the May match. The level 3 was really looking forward to that. But obviously, I think it's been cancelled now, and it certainly doesn't look likely that it would go ahead anyway. So it's just such a shame. But yeah, I'm planning to get over to Nitsa as much as possible. So again, thank you for having me last time, and I hope you're looking forward to having me again. But yeah, just like to just catching up on everything, guys. Calvol, if you want a thorny topic, will Brexit make it easier to get fairer gun laws? This could be a can of worms, couldn't it? So yes, I think it will. Sorry, I've had a few guys. And I've got a message from Connor saying he's driving over to cough on me. Great. Oh dear, Daniel. Oh dear. So Mr. Smerald, Mr. Crap Magnet himself, just sent me that. That's Is it backwards? Is everything rotated here? It probably is. So you probably can't realise. That's unfortunate. Fred Morrison Knight. Yeah. Thanks, Fred, for joining me and joining us all even. Oh, Daniel's here. I've just seen his name pop up. So yeah, thanks for sending me that. Why do you send me things when I'm on stream, mate? Like, I'm streaming. Like, you're just trying to distract me. But yeah, will Brexit make it easier to get fairer gun laws? Yes, because there's less bureaucracy. You have to deal with one government instead of having to deal with your own government and a European government. And of course, the EU were the ones bringing in more and more restrictions. So first of all, I think we're going to save ourselves a lot of restrictions, although I think the government will mirror a lot of the laws, not that they have to, but they probably will, to keep certain people happy. But yeah, I think, once Brexit is fully complete and we start re-evaluating laws and how we want to change things from how it was when we were in the EU, if Britain decides, right, we're gonna do this or we're gonna do that, and that's against a European sort of guidance or a European initiative, then they don't have anyone to answer to. All our politicians will then have to answer to is the people that they should be answering to, which is us, is the public, not some bureaucrats over in a different country with different cultures. Like, people like to have this ideal view that it's a one fit all for every country. Like, I've been to Europe enough. The culture is I think different between Europe and the UK. Is more different between Europe and the UK than it is US and the UK in a lot of ways. So trying to have this one size fits all rule book, I just think is wishful thinking, and part of why I decided to vote leave. Daniel Smurrow, shave my name into your beard and I'll buy you the camera. Are you being serious? I will happily shave your name into my beard if you buy me a Sony A7 III. Like, if that's a deal, that's a deal. Like, I'm having Daniel Smerald across my face. I'm sure there's some other stipulations to that agreement. Let's just say. Yeah, I'll do it. I will do it. It's Tom S. Nicholas, Dan. Watch out. Watch out what you wish for. It will happen. Connors, I will let you. If someone's gonna buy me the A7 III, I don't care. Like, shave whatever you want into my beard. So Nitsa, yeah, unfortunately the range is closed, but you will always be welcome over here, and so will any shooter who wants to try their hands at shooting proper handguns. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. No, that's absolutely great. And I know that the UK PSA and can't have a gun. Can't have a gun in the stream. Definitely not. I know that the people from the UK PSA and its members and also its committee member are incredibly grateful of being able to use Nitsa and create an avenue. Magload, yeah, I'm not going to say it again because I obviously said it wrong because I say many things wrong. I've got a disability, all right. Leave me alone. I don't take the piss out of you much. Daniel Smerrill, plans on videos while we're on lockdown. So, oh dear, I've just got a warning. I think I'm going down. We're going down. Come on, YouTube. Come on, keep it together. You can do it. Am I still there? Hello? I really need to get this sorted. I'm really sorry. This is not the usual standard of the streams. I do really feel sorry for you guys. I will try my absolute hardest next week to make sure it's more consistent. But yeah, Daniel Smerald, plans on videos while we're on lockdown. So as I did say earlier, I have a video planned of basically making a garden safe or fit to be able to do airgun shooting. There's a few considerations to make sure that you don't annoy or hurt your neighbours. Daniel Smerald, I honestly forgot you were on stream, but you were here. Anyway, yeah. So I'm going to be doing that. So how to set up your garden for some airgun shooting, and I'm also going to do some IPSC action air out in the garden. Unbeknownst to Connors, I might have pinched a few IPSC targets from his course bag. We might have to order some more, but I will be setting up some sort of course in the garden. What my neighbours are going to think, I don't know, but I have my full rig. I've got the gun, I've got some gas, I've got some BBs, some magazines, and my belt holster and all that. And I'll do some training because we rave about how good action air can be for simulation and training for live fire shooting, and even just stage planning and malfunction clearing and stuff like that is all very similar. So I might as well practice what I preach, and during this time that I can't get to a full range, I'll make the use of the airsoft guns that I've got available to do as much training, and maybe I'll try and make a complete test for myself and show you the methods that I use to train. So if you're interested in if there's anything as well that can be filmed either in a home garden or here like this, and there's any videos that you want me to do, let me know. I make content for you guys. I don't just, well, some videos I do for my own enjoyment. They usually end up in trouble afterwards. But if there's any topics that can be filmed in this sort of in a home environment, then let me know. I'll happily try and do them. And again, it's not like things are normal out there, and I'm going to work every single day. So I might as well keep you guys happy and keep you guys entertained as well as I can do. Wholesale engagement with politicians is the only way gun laws will change. Get off your asses and do it instead of waiting for someone else to do it. See, I did have someone I don't know if you're in here, but I did have someone comment or send a message about what was it? Petitions and petitioning for semi-autos back. Oh no, I'm back up. The internet is just, why is it so flaky? But yeah, basically about petitions and stuff like that. I think it needs to be an organisation push It needs to be a collective push. Unless somebody miraculously is going to get all 750,000 license holder together, on their own back without an organisation, I think the chances of that are incredibly slim. Really, it falls down to my organisations, and this is why I start to slowly lose faith in our organisations, because I've seen very little proactive push from our organisations for a very long time. And I really think that they are our best chance. They're the best chance to sort of, rally the troops, as it would to be, as the saying goes, let's say. And this is why I was like so dumbfounded when they decided to put all of this effort into self-banning lead, or voluntarily removing lead out of sort of game shooting or hunting. And I'm like, if you'd have, well, they didn't, to be honest, they didn't really put much effort into it, because, well, it sort of all speaks for itself, doesn't it? But if they were focused on like actually pushing forward our laws and protecting shooters and our laws, like, rather than losing more, I know it's like, some people say it's short-sighted. They're doing this to save the sport going on, and bringing it into the 21st century. Yeah, that would be all well and good if the manufacturers were ready, which they've categorically said they're not. So yeah, maybe we could work on 2.2 handguns or semi-automatic full bores, but of course, no one hunts with a semi-automatic handgun or a semi-automatic full bore gun. So it's not like the major organisations that are very hunting focused are particularly interested, unfortunately. Again, that's why I really like the birth of the owners' rights cooperative or group. They it's all about the shooters. It's not about what discipline you do. It's about, do you own a gun? Yes. Okay, I don't care why you own that, as long as it's lawful. We will protect you. How do you need protecting? That's where I think our organisation should go, rather than we're only about the countryside. Well, no, you represent a lot more shooters than just countryside shooters. But anyway, this is why I need Connor's here, because I can go off on one. Let's have a look. Just checking that I've gone through everything that I wanted to cover. Obviously, more importantly, there have been a few more questions in the week leading up to this from people. Somebody wanted me to talk about CCI 2.2 ammo differences, and they've asked for my opinion between mini mag and standard ammunition, and copper versus lead. Now, I know on a technical standpoint that Connors is going to be easily able to answer the question better than I will be in terms of copper versus lead, but I'll give it a stab. First of all, copper ammunition seems to be more expensive. It is more environmentally friendly, if you believe everything that they say about lead. But it's also lighter, so you don't necessarily get the same stability from the round, because it's less dense than lead. So it's sort of slightly less effective. It's more expensive. So, but it's environmentally friendly and all that. So pros and cons you've got to weigh up. In terms of mini mag and standard, both are incredibly good ammunition. There's a lot of semi-auto guns that usually wouldn't run sort of standard velocity ammunition, but they will run CCI standard, because it's just so good. It's just so high quality. But mini mag for me is the absolute. If you need a ammunition that 100% that you're not going to have an issue with any gun, it's mini mag, and that's why I use it for absolutely everything 2.2 that I can, unless we're just going down for some reason to just go and burn ammunition. So I believe the torture test with the what was it? The muzzle brake, the 3D printed muzzle brake from Magload. That was all done with like cheap ammunition, because we were going down and burning a lot of ammunition in one go. So we didn't want to use the expensive stuff, because literally just throwing away money. But yeah, I would just say standard mini mag. Absolutely cannot go wrong with it. If you start shooting like LBPs, then you might want to look at standard. I know that Alex Florence switched from mini mag over to standard ammunition, just for slightly lower recoil on that. But yeah, for me, CCI Mini Mag cannot beat it. And the same person asked another question: the best LBP for beginners. Now, we don't have a huge selection of LBPs within the UK. Off the top of my head, we have the GSG 1911 Mark II, we have the Walther Colt 1911, the Walther PPQ, we have the K22, we have the CIP22, there's the new Shield S01. I know that Cotswold Classic Arms is also bringing out a very similar gun, Shadow 2 based gun in LBP. There's the original, what was it? Lone Mill. They were like the sort of the OG, the Browning butt mark as well, although that's obviously one of the very first ones, not so suited to sort of practical shooting. So there's a reasonable, there was of course the Icon Arms IP226, you know, the late Mike Jakes unfortunately passed away in a motorbike accident, but that was a gun that I think had a lot of interest. A lot of people were very, very hyped about, but it never really came to fruition. I think there's sort of 5 or 10 guns floating about out there. Am I missing any LBPs? I think that's about it. I would, out of everything, I would highly recommend the Walther PPQ. No, that's not because I'm sponsored by Bluefield Sports or that's where I work most of the time, and that's the gun that they push and Alex stocks sort of buckets of. You know, I've shot it a number of times in the 9mm version, and it's a great gun, and it's a great gun in 9mm or 2.2. It is perhaps the most reliable LBP that I've ever seen on the market. You know, if you put CCI standard in it or CCI Mini Mag, you should not have a single issue with it. And I believe Connors is working very hard to bring out further upgrades for it. But the Walther PPQ is the gun that I will be going to straight away as soon as I can after I get my FAC, because I'm very envious of the people that get to shoot it in front of me. And I've done a lot of filming with it, just not me shooting it, unfortunately. It's fine, it's Alex's targets. He might not be so happy about it. Okay, well, Magload might have to buy some replacements. There we go, Daniel. Way to make me feel happy. In 24 hours, we'd be holding hands flying over the Atlantic, and probably you shaving your name into my beard. Yeah, that is right. It was tomorrow that we were going to be heading out to Kentucky if the coronavirus hadn't have taken hold. That's it's so painful. We're so looking forward to it. Obviously, there's Knob Creek. Again, in the scheme of things, with everything that's going on, you know, we should sort of count ourselves lucky that so far we're all healthy and all that. But it still is a massive bummer. It would have been, I think, one of the best trips out there. We had so much planned. There was a lot more organisation than any trip previous. We had so much set up to do, big plans. Oh, it would have been amazing. But anyway, I'll stop being a downer. Videos on dry firing drills. So I do only have the Glock Action Air. I can do as many dry fire drills with that as I can. In terms of any other gun, say rifle or shotgun, that will have to be in, you know, until I can get back to Bluefield Sports and, you know, get hold of those guns, because obviously I don't have the guns here. Fitness would be ideal, something related to heart rate, strength, flexibility, and speed. Okay, so again, I've got to make notes because I will forget otherwise. So say you want some dry drills and fitness. Why would you say fitness, Daniel? I was sort of enjoying this, you know, stay at home and just drink beer all day. So you want like heart rate, strength. Again, guys, if there's anything you want to see, any videos you want me to make that I can make in a residential garden or in an office, then, you know, let me know and I will make it. Flexible. Why do you want me to be flexible, Daniel? That's a bit worrying. And speed. Again, these are all things that sort of sending alarm bells through me. Track Mahmood, did you ever make the PPQ normal versus suppressed? Yes, we did. It didn't get released because we needed to make it again because we sort of ballsed up the actual testing of it. So PPQ, I don't know, maybe we can get hold of another suppressed one. I don't know if Alex has one. Yeah, I mean, whilst we sort of cocked up the filming of the video, which is why it never went out, as Connors has said, it's really not worth getting the suppressed version. Like, just get the normal one. But I'll add it to the list, and if we can do it, we would do it. Normal versus. You've got loads of videos for you to make. I'll be very, very busy. Ryan Hutchinson, don't forget to dream big. Absolutely, mate. That's your problem. I mean, you know, I dreamt big. Look where I went for university. And it's all your fault anyway. So, World Gun Owners Association, it was all Basque lies. Yeah, basically, well, you never know what's going on behind closed doors, but from everything that they've made public, just an absolute shit show. Yes, Daniel, it's all Ryan's fault. Durex Jim, what a name. Hey guys, hope you're all okay. Again, hope you're all good. And everyone, hope you're all keeping well, keeping safe. Colvolt, in Norway we are in the processes of getting new laws. We are starting a letter writing campaign soon, and we'll inform you guys how it goes. Yeah, keep me posted. All the best for sort of fighting that off. I know, you know, with Sweden as well, and talking to Pia, your sort of whole region up there, they're really trying hard to really bugger you guys up. So stay strong, keep fighting it. You know, the thing is, if someone actually came out with a proposal for like sensible gun laws, like they actually came up with something and said like this is actually dangerous, like I would support it. It's not like I'm against all gun laws. You know, I'm a huge supporter of our licensing system, as much as, even though it gets much hate from America out there, and the American subscribers, because they just, you know, they don't understand it. I get that, but they yeah, I support a lot of things, you know, a lot of restrictions as well, but some do just need to be changed. The Blaser works top in my MMP and my 1911. Yeah, Blaser is ammunition that we've used. I believe it might have even been Blaser we used for the muzzle brake video, and it ran well. I mean, you can go and watch the sort of the time lapse of Connor shooting all that ammunition. Like, I don't believe he got any jams with it. Connor saying lots of fan of Blaser. We should really get someone to try it. I swear that's what we were using for the muzzle brake video. Well, maybe it was CCI. Maybe we just pushed the boat out and bought a load of CCI. What about the Cactus arm glocks? Oh yes. Yeah, I mean, Connors, you keep undercutting me here. You're answering the question before I get a chance. Yeah, I mean, the Cactus arms, shortly after the Caliber Innovations announced their CIP22, like literally the same day or the day after, Cactus Arms released theirs. And I mean, a year or 2 years prior, I was talking to Ron at Phoenix, and they and he was in development with it then, and yeah, it's sort of like you keep hearing little things and it sort of never comes to fruition, unfortunately. But more choices is good, so hopefully we can see the Cactus Arms out there in the wild at some point. Daniel Smerald, I'm fat, so not healthy. I wanted that special time with you and Connors. I'm sure you did. Connors is very lovable. Fitness, let's shift that beer gut. What are you talking about? What are you saying? So rude. World Gun Owners Association 000 buck video. Oh, my shoulder. You really are a torturer, Paul. I hope you know that. I'm sure you thrive off of it. Slow is month, smooth is fast. Later folks gotta go. I think that's correct. I think it's slow is fast, smooth is fast, something like that. You all know the saying, don't you? But thanks, Thomas. I'm sure you've already left by now, but thanks for joining. Carl Volt, suggestion, make a video about stage planning. Get a pro/high level shooter to comment on a stage, either of you having shot it, and discuss how either of you would have sold it. Well, you know, pro high-level shooter. I mean, why would I need to get someone else in? Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty cool idea. I mean, I suppose the thing is, if we build the stage and do it ourselves, I suppose that's the only thing we can really do at the moment. Maybe Connors can remotely critique my stages and do a little bit of a voiceover for that, and sort of talk about things. I can sort of talk it through from my point of view, and he can talk it through as well. Yeah, that sounds like a pretty cool idea. So pro commentary. I mean, if you guys know the number for Jerry Michalak, I would happily have him critique one of my stages. You know, that's cool. Like, just put me in touch. I'm willing. I'm here, Jerry. Pro commentary on a stage. You guys are full of good ideas tonight. Thank you very much. Like, really appreciate it. Makes my job a lot easier than sat here going, oh God, I wonder what they would enjoy seeing. So you giving me the ideas, I really do appreciate. Connor's saying, oh yes, we used Mini Mag for the muzzle brake video because we wanted to torture it, and torture it we did. Okay, it's Mini Mag. We just literally burnt a load of money doing that. That's great. Norway doesn't have the same activists probably in the police as Sweden. We're getting a mixed bag, but we hope to get more positives things in. Yeah. Again, all the best to, you know, getting things better for where you are. You know, again, it's for me, it's all about positive promotion. If you can positively promote what you're doing and show people like the positive sides, it's only going to get better. And I think that's a massive tool for changing things. Blaser works fantastic, not one misfire or slow cycling. So yeah, a few Blaser fans here tonight. So have you ever done any hunter field target competitions? Yeah, well, Connors, as he said, he has. I did go out to the HFT Masters a couple of years ago out in Prague with Roger Lay, and that was a fantastic eye-opener. I mean, you know, I've done a lot of airgun shooting in terms of like plinking in the back garden, never anything competitively, and to see the HFT, you know, like the effectively the World Championship, and the accuracy of those guys and the precision. I mean, you think, you know, oh, they're only shooting at 20 yards or 30 yards, but out in a forest with wind and, you know, the way the pellet can be affected during its flight line, and they take all that into calculation, and sort of getting to watch that and film it. There's actually a really good video. It's one of the first videos we did, I think, for Gunroom TV. So head over to Gunroom TV if you want to go and see the HFT Masters a couple of years ago. I certainly had a lot of fun out there. And you know, we got to spend our evenings in Prague, which is never a bad thing. Has Connors done any video of 1301 port cuts, or is it still a trade secret? Yeah, we do have photos. I keep on saying to Connors, like, we should show everything. We do have a series. I'm getting stuffy again. Maybe I'm just allergic to YouTube. I don't know. Yeah, we filmed porting an M2 and modifying an M2 ready for competition. So you'll see a bit in that. There is a bit, so that the video at the moment, there's a bit that Connors didn't want to include, but I am sort of warming him up to maybe changing his mind on that and showing the full hog. So, you know, that's one of these sort of videos that or a series of videos that I've filmed a lot for. And it's during periods like this that I'm going to put the time in editing it and getting it together. So, you know, if you want to, there is going to be a full in-depth thing about porting an M2. And also I know Connors, because he's got a new Supernova, he's going to do a whole series of videos on those as well, pimping a Supernova. So again, if you're interested in any of that, then just make sure you're subscribed and you'll get to see it all. Elster's Rifles and Reloading, what's going on, peeps? Nothing much, just sat here chilling, having a chat, questions, topics, welcome to talk about. Are Ely Action Plus any good? I've not personally used them. I know that Ely did have a number of issues when it first came out, but I believe they've sorted that all now. And I know there's a lot of people, a lot of seriously top end shooters that are part of Team Ely. So if the top shooters are using it, it can't be wrong, right? There's got to be there's got to be something there for these people to be winning these competitions with that ammunition. So and of course Ely, it is a British company. Just I don't know if it's enough to pull me away from Mini Mag personally, but I would just try some. I mean, get 1,000 rounds. I think it's 70 to 80 quid for 1,000 rounds of Ely Action Plus. Might be a little bit more, might be little bit less, but like just try it, see it for yourself. That's really the best way. But yeah, I know that Ely are very passionate and very particular, and certainly whenever you bring out a new product, there are bound to be some issues at some point, but they've seemed to have fixed it and moved on, which is great. Chris Smith really enjoyed his breakdown video of the 1301. Just like to see a modification type video. Yeah, so for the M2, that's going to happen, as I just said. So we are going to go further into detail. Keep an eye, like we've got a few things planned, or we're talking things over at the moment in terms of what content we can do and what can we do during this lockdown period, because there's a lot of free time at the moment for us to do some awesome content. So we want to do more deep dives and tear downs of guns for Gunroom TV. So watch this space, and we'll see where that goes. But yeah, is there anything else that I wanted to cover? Let's have a look. Yeah, again, unfortunately, I put my granddad's air rifle. Where is it? There it is. Can't touch it because I'm on YouTube. And despite it being an air gun, despite me having airsoft guns, YouTube don't know the difference, and I don't want to get the channel flagged or pulled. I can tell you a video I am going to try and film as soon as possible is the review of the Smith & Wesson 1522, because good old YouTube, I got a notification, I think it was this morning or yesterday, saying that they've taken it down. It's been up there for like 5 years. Like, it was like one of the first videos I've ever done. It had something like 80,000 views, which is a bit annoying. I've appealed it, so we'll see. I think the main issue is that I do a disassembly in it, and disassembly is in the title, and I think that they've just gone, oh, he's doing something we don't understand with a gun, he must be making it full auto. No guys, I'm literally just taking down the takedown pins and opening it up and showing people how to take apart the rifle and give a review of the inside. So we'll see where that one goes. It was one of the first videos, as I said, it was filmed on iPhone, so it would be good to sort of redo that video, because it's still, in my opinion, one of the best guns out there for mini rifle. So yeah, not the end of the world to go and reshoot that video, but you can expect that. It's certainly if they don't reapprove it, but I think it's probably time I redid that review anyway. Yeah, I think I have covered absolutely everything. So with usually I'd happily on my own and not having to keep Connors and Alex from going in, I would happily run this for as long as possible, but with the intermittent, I can still see it sort of jerking. Again, guys, I'm really sorry. We'll try and sort it out for next week, so it'll be a little bit more a lot better. We'll see what we can do, but there we go. But yeah, just give you guys sort of a few minutes. If you've got any last questions, if you've got anything you want to talk about, otherwise we'll look at wrapping it up in a bit, because there's beer in the house. So yeah, anything else you want to talk about? I know you're on a delay, so I'll give you a few minutes to come through. So it's like YouTube got nothing better to do than back check post. Yeah, this is like the thing that narks me the most, is that all I'm getting at the moment is emails like from loads of companies, but loads of emails from YouTube going, oh, at the moment it might take us longer to sort of resolve an issue, or to you know, if content is flagged, to review it, and they're going around and reviewing 5-year-old videos. Like, what the hell? Like, either you're swamped and you're low staffed and you can't be doing the minimum level that you should be, or you've got enough time to go digging into 5-year-old videos. Madness. I see the video of when you done the lettering white. Just yep. Yeah, so you're talking about when I did the inlay to my Smith & Wesson 1522. Such a cheap and easy mod, and I think it doesn't necessarily transform the gun, but it gives a real instant personal flair. And I did a little video a while ago on that. It's one of those things that in the evening, you know, you've got the gun in the safe and you just like, you want to go and have a tinker, and you go and borrow some nail polish and just tart it up a little bit. But yeah, it's great to add a personal touch. I would have done it differently if I was to redo it again. So the red, I'd say this to everyone now. Anything you want to do red, do it in white first and then put the red over it, because it really makes the red pop. The red on mine is a bit dull, so I might redo that. Another lockdown video suggestion: get some of the older / more veteran shooters from early IPSC, UK PSA days and do a podcast story time about earlier days of practical shooting in the UK. That would be... So I'm going to put that down as history of UK practical shooting. Oh, that's going to be an interesting one. There's there's a lot of politics when it comes to, like there is with most divisions of shooting, but with practical shooting there is some huge rifts which are slowly mending. So that's going to be a very interesting video to make and not piss off at least half of the practical shooting community within the UK. So we'll see how that one goes. We do have this plan. I've got the music and everything. So I said last week we use a streaming service called Artlist.io, and it has a bucket load of music. Occasionally you'll be going through and you'll hear a song, and it's like you'll hear it and you will know the video that should be made to that song, but obviously it's not matching what you're making at the moment. So occasionally I'll just download it anyway and stick it away and put a title for it, like use it for this sort of video. And there's this one, and it like there's this video of, I think it's like the early mid 90s, what it would be in the UK, because in 97 when they got banned, of the I think it might even be like the 1990s, or like 1990 even, but it's the handgun world shoot that was held at Bisley, and there was this music that would have just tied up. So Connors and I had this idea of dressing up as like 80s commentators and doing like a retrospective commentary on this old Bisley IPSC Hang-On World Shoot. If you'd like the sound of that, let us know, because that's probably something we could do in isolation. Be a little bit difficult, but I'm sure we can work something out. I do have another idea. I'm not gonna tell you guys, but I've already talked to Connors and Alex about it. They really didn't understand where I was coming from it, but it's all in here. It's all in here. I'll make it work. That will be an interesting thing, but I leave that as a bit of a surprise. So Chris Smith, any news on getting your tickets back? I said earlier on in the stream, I had talked to the police a couple of years ago, Hampshire Firearms, and we had agreed May this year. So I know that the office is probably going to be shut. I know that they're not processing new applications at the moment, which is going to prolong it even further. But as of the 1st of May, I will be submitting my FAC and SGC. So hopefully, depending how long it takes for coronavirus, it won't take too long. I expect it to probably be at least 6 months, unfortunately, but we will see. We'll see how that goes. For reference, check Vortex Nation's podcast episode with Joey Michalak or the 3 Gun Show episode with Jeff Cramblett. Okay. I watch a lot of the 3 Gun Show. I follow them on Instagram. They're a crazy bunch. I guess they do like stage backgrounds then. Yeah, you're talking about the same IPSC video as well, the World Shoot one. It's really interesting. If you want to see how far shooting has evolved in 30 years, which in the scheme of things isn't a huge amount of time. Yeah, go and watch it. Like, type in like Bisley weld shoot handgun weld shoot, whatever. It's funny. Like, and if you're part of the UK scene, practical shooting scene, you will see some familiar faces. That's for sure. That's exactly what I did in this lockdown. Done the MP lettering. Yeah, it's perfect, like time filler, isn't it? I'm new to the channel. Hi Julian, welcome to the channel. Have you ever fired a Canon or done a common, I guess, a Canon vid? I'm hoping to make / cast one myself, just a tiddler. I'm joining my local black powder gun club. Awesome, yeah. I have technically shot a Canon. Alex has some signalling cannons that you basically cut down a shotgun cartridge and fire. I'll make a quick video on that next time I'm over, not in lockdown. They're quite cute cannons, and there's a really cool story behind them as well. I think Alex has said it on the channel before. So let's see if we can get him to tell us that story. But yeah, I know there's a guy called Richard Bray, who we actually Gunroom TV did a video with him. He's a Paralympic hopeful. We went to his home club and interviewed him for Gunroom TV, and he's big into his cannons. Like, seriously, like, he does some serious Canon shooting, and he keeps saying, like, he keeps inviting me and offering, and I keep saying, like, come down and we'll do some Canon shooting, and obviously we can't at the moment, but that's definitely something that will come on the channel soon. And they're like some, like, the muzzle flash off them is incredible. He gets proper O's. And the only gun I've ever seen, or no, two guns. The only two guns I've ever seen that happen with was the Desert Eagle and the Smith & Wesson 500. So yeah, but it blows these incredible rings, and he's got these got these pictures of them of these firings. So yeah, but yeah, guys, it's been, what's it been? How long has it been? Hour and 50 minutes, just about. So almost 2 hours. But as I said, you know, the quality unfortunately isn't good. So I'm really sorry about that. But we will try and get it sorted out for next week. But I am going to round it up. Thank you everyone for sticking through the technical difficulties, for keeping up with the conversation and topics and asking questions, and just for simply tuning in and watching. As I said, we will be doing this every week. If you would like it more often during this lockdown period, then I see what we can do. But I'm definitely going to go and work out a faster way, well, a better way for a way to improve our internet and our Wi-Fi, that's for sure. And I'll go and work on that straight away. But there we go, guys. Thank you very much for watching and tuning in. Again, before you leave, please hit that thumbs up button. It really does help with the analytics. And if you're new to the channel, go through some of the more recent videos. We put content out every single week. There's a video actually clearing up a few things about COVID-19 that will be going out tomorrow night. So loads of new content despite the lockdown. But again, thank you all for tuning in. Really appreciated. And as always, guys, I hope to see you soon.